Live from Arkansas streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Good morning, everybody. Here we are on THV 11 Plus. I'm Hayden Balgavy.
And I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm meteorologist Tracy Bean.
And I'm Ashley King. Good morning. This is the time where we feel like we can just kind of like, whoo.
Time to hang out, enjoy a little plus, 7 o'clock. Of course, we're getting things going July 2nd. I was so amazed, though, at how much better it felt on July 1st than it did like the entire month of June.
Littlest difference.
And so I went home yesterday and I said, don't you think it feels cooler out there? And my husband looked at me and said, cooler? Anyway,
it did. I can tell you right now, I was in the backyard with the kiddo and the wife and the dogs, and it was probably like 7:15, 7:30 last night. It was nice. I can honestly say it was pleasant.
If you're in the shade.
If you're in the shade, we were in the shade.
It's the dew point humidity, right?
Yeah, we are seeing those dew points. We had drier air pulled in, a little bit, tiny bit cooler from that cold front that came through, cool front, and that made things feel a little bit better. And so this afternoon, we're going to start to see those dew points in the 60s. So we're going to talk about that in a minute, but we're going to talk about traffic first.
That's right. You know, the people that are maybe watching this morning and they're from the north somewhere, they're like, y'all are saying this is cool? This is what you call cooler weather? Yes, it is. It feels good. And it looks like the traffic is moving right along, too. This, again, is I-57, the Vandenberg Boulevard exit in Jacksonville, where overnight they're doing some constructions. You can see the orange cones are everywhere, but it's really not slowing anyone down right now. Traffic is moving freely, so that is great news. And when we look at the map right here, no accidents in the metro. Things look pretty good. You're seeing some yellow in the usual slowdowns, like around the Bass Pro Shop there in Bryant and Benton area, or coming out of Saline County actually into downtown Little Rock. So things looking pretty good. The drive times are still pretty much the same. 18 minutes from the Hardin Drive exit Jacksonville. You know, that's the area we were looking at just a few minutes ago. Like I said, moving freely there. Things are just moving right along. 14-minute drive if you're coming from around the promenade and to downtown Little Rock there in Chenal, and from Lonoke a 25-minute drive. So keep it up. Tracy?
Well, we talked about that cooler air coming in. It's 75 out there right now, and dew point is around 72. So it does feel a little muggy out there, but believe it or not, as we're continuing to go throughout the day, we're going to have those temperatures rising just a little bit, and the dew points spread's going to be a little wider. So it's going to actually feel just a little bit better as we're heading into the afternoon. That 3-day forecast, again, 91 today, 93 tomorrow, and we're going to see those lower dew points impacting us in a good way for the afternoons. It's going to be comfortable. It's going to be hot, but it is going to be comfortable out there. You'll be able to get there and enjoy things. For your Friday for the 4th of July, looking for a high of 94. We're going to start to feel those dew points and that humidity starting to rise. Friday won't be too bad, but especially as we are heading into the weekend, we're really going to see those mid to upper 90s kick in. And also we're going to start to see that humidity, and that's where we're going to see that potential for a heat advisory issued possibly for Sunday or Monday. But again, it's going to be enjoyable for the next couple of days, but we'll talk more about this forecast and time things out for you coming up.
Happening now, House lawmakers are scrambling back to Washington to take up the Senate's updated version of President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill.
The bill clearing the Senate overnight with just 3 Republicans voting no. The package extends Trump's 2017 tax cuts, adds new relief for tips and overtime. It boosts border and defense spending while slashing nearly $1 trillion from programs like Medicaid.
But it's also projected to add trillions to the deficit, a major sticking point for House Republicans. Early this morning, the House Rules Committee adjourned after a marathon debate.
This bill gets Americans back to winning again.
If this ugly bill passes, it's going to get a lot uglier when people realize what's in it.
President Trump remains optimistic and plans to meet with lawmakers ahead of his July 4th deadline.
The House could vote on the bill as early as today. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders just scored a win in the AI debate. As the president's budget bill advances in the Senate, lawmakers have agreed to remove a 10-year ban that would have blocked states from regulating artificial intelligence. The governor pushing for state-led AI policy, joining other leaders in urging Congress to cut that provision from the bill. Those concerns were put in a letter and sent to House Speaker Mike Johnson. After successfully getting the provision removed, Governor Sanders is saying in a statement, quote, "We will now be able to protect our kids from the harms of completely unregulated AI."
A Springdale area nonprofit that supports abused children is, among other services, worried over possible federal grant cuts. The Children's Safety Center serves victims of abuse across Washington County and relies on federal funding to keep key programs going. Its executive director says proposed cuts could slash 26% of their overall budget, adding up to more than $170,000.
We've been here for almost 28 years. And so we have been working really hard the last 13 years to diversify our funds. But that is a huge cut at one time.
Two major programs are at risk: victims of crime assistance and temporary assistance for needy families. The center is one of many nonprofits now facing financial uncertainty after the Trump administration and DOJ launched a sweeping review of multiple federal grant programs. And the grant freeze threatening Arkansas nonprofits is part of a much bigger funding halt across the country. As you know, the Trump administration just delayed nearly $7 billion in federal money meant for K-12 programs, including after-school care, migrant education, and English language learning. States were notified Monday, one day before the money was supposed to go out, leaving school districts now scrambling ahead of the new year. The Education Department says the funds are under review, but leaders and lawmakers warn the delay is already hurting schools and students.
A 36-year-old mystery in White County now solved thanks to advanced DNA testing. State police have identified human remains found in 1989 as Carl Hooten from Valonia. He was 30 years old at the time. His body was discovered near Swinging Bridge Road in Antioch, and an autopsy confirmed he was shot. A Texas forensic lab recently made the match using DNA. Investigators now asking anyone who knew Hooten or has any information about his death to please come forward.
It is surveillance footage that helped crack a years-long search for a Rogers shooting suspect. Walmart's Global Investigations team helped track down Alejandro Zenon Reyes, who fled to Mexico after the 2022 killing of Alexis Wynn. Images from a Dallas Walmart show his family leaving in a black Suburban, possibly buying phones before they disappeared. Zenon Reyes, now 18, is back in Benton County custody. His family, accused of helping him escape, is set to stand trial this month.
A man is facing homicide charges after a deadly accident on the interstate. Tyler Slayton and Jacob Ward died in a hit and run last Wednesday night as they tried to fix a flat tire on the shoulder of I-555 near Truman. Later, a deputy spotting a damaged car driven by 25-year-old Taylor Rhodes of Pocahontas. After a traffic stop, police felt they had enough evidence to charge Rhodes with negligent homicide, DWI, and leaving the scene of an accident. He's being held on $100,000 bond in the Poinsett County Jail. As we head to the holiday weekend, safety on the roads is top of mind for Arkansas State Police.
From impaired drivers to roadside safety violations, troopers are stepping up enforcement across the state. THV 11's Tamer Knight joins us now with more on what you need to know to stay safe and stay legal. Tamer?
Well, good morning, Karen and Hayden. You've seen the flashing lights on the side of the highway, an officer assisting a driver, or a tow truck loading a car. But how you respond in that moment could be the difference between life and death or a major fine. What many don't realize is that not moving over or slowing down for emergency vehicles isn't just dangerous, it's illegal. AAA Arkansas and state police say nearly a quarter of drivers don't know about the move over law. And 15% of those people admit they don't understand why the law matters or what the consequences are. But ahead of the 4th of July weekend, moving over isn't the only concern for law enforcement. State police kicked off their Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign on Tuesday, increasing patrols on interstates and highways across the state.
If you go somewhere you're going to and you know there's going to be alcohol involved, figure out how you're going to get home before you start drinking. You know, there's plenty of rideshare services, especially in the Little Rock metro area, Northwest Arkansas. Use those rideshare services. Use a friend. If you see a friend that's had too much to drink, find a ride for them. Help them out. Be a good friend.
Now, within the last year, state police say they have made 3,795 DWI arrests alone. So remember, slow down, move over, and never get behind the wheel impaired. State police say their #1 goal this weekend, it's simple, making sure everyone gets home safe. For THV 11 Morning News, I'm Tamer Knight.
Tamer, thank you. Common sense. Now let's go back to Ashley King with a check of the traffic this morning.
Yeah.
Ashley?
Great tips as we head into this July 4th weekend holiday when traffic will start picking up. A lot of people are going to be on the road. Right now, not a whole lot of people on the road heading into downtown Little Rock. We're looking eastbound on I-630. You can see our state capitol in the background along with Arkansas Children's Hospital. Beautiful sunrise. Looks like it's going to be a great morning as long as we can keep the traffic flowing like it is right now. This is just west of Battery Street. So good news for commuters that are coming into downtown Little Rock. Traffic is moving with no delays right now in this area. Looking at the map, some usual slowdowns there in Saline County coming into downtown Little Rock, especially as you get close to the Little Rock outlets and the Bass Pro Shop. We're seeing a little bit of yellow there, but otherwise it looks pretty good. The drive times into downtown Little Rock from outside of Little Rock in our metro area, the Dave Ward exit, Conway, starting to pick up just a little bit. We're seeing those times increase just a tad bit. 23 minutes into Little Rock, Alcoa exit Benton, 23 minutes, and Highway 5 exit into Cabot. It's going to take you 22 minutes to get to downtown Little Rock. So we'll get another look at these drive times in just a few minutes. Right now, we want to get a look at weather with Tracy.
Well, just like traffic, it's not too bad today. For it to be the first part of July, we are going to see slightly cooler and drier conditions for this midweek time frame. And we are looking at heating up by the holiday weekend and a few of those Mother Nature's fireworks, as Tom put it last night. I like that. We are going to continue to see those little pop-up storms that shouldn't cause you too much trouble. You may have to dodge those a little bit as we're heading into the weekend and as we're heading into early next week. A day planner for today, hour by hour. A lot of sunshine out there right now, but we're going to start to see those clouds increasing as we're heading into the late afternoon and evening hours, but it's still going to be overall a nice day. Looking for a high of 91, still looking for that heat index value of 96, but the dew point is going to be a little bit lower, so it should feel pretty nice out there. Across the state, we're going to see some 80s for highs. That's hard to believe as we are in July. Summertime, it should feel a lot warmer than this. So enjoy today and tomorrow, because we are going to start to see all of that heat and humidity really ramping up as we're heading into that 4th of July weekend. So stay with me. We'll talk more about all the heat and humidity and exactly how hot it's going to get. Well, we'll talk about that coming up in my forecast.